Okay, Glenn, just a follow-up from the last video I just did with regards to your swing at the start of the session. Well, this was your swing from face on at the start of the session, so not a bad setup there. As we go back, you can see just how, with regards to your right arm, just how straight that right arm is there. By this point, we want some of your upper right arm connected to your torso, right? You can see how straight it is going back. So I think the drill that we did, and that's what I pulled up on the right side, that will help that as well. This right arm folding is going to also help you cock your wrist more, right? The right arm folding more will help you cock your left wrist more, and likewise the other way. The more you cock your left wrist, the more that right arm will start to fold as well, start to get some bend in the elbow, right? But the big thing that we took away from your backswing from this camera angle was just how much your head's moving to the right, and the fact that you're turning, staying in forward flex, right? So then as you get to the top, that's really evident by that angle with your spine. So all I said was, the spine has to extend, right? It has to bend backwards during the backswing. And then if we draw some lines here, we talked a little bit about how the hands want to go outward more. We'll pull up another video in a second and show you that, the difference between the start of the session and the end of the session. But once you start to incorporate that move, right, you can see that right arm starting to bend a little bit more at that point. Right, if we stop you there, right, you can see how this right arm bending also affects the wrist hinge, right? But the big one was extending, bending backwards with your spine, right, which gets you to there, right? So that just looks like a different golfer on the right side compared to your old backswing, right? So you picked that up pretty easy, right? You picked that up pretty easy. So I was really happy with that. And then as you start to come down with your old swing, the one thing I'm looking at is, well, how much are you moving your weight? Well, you start to move your hips over your lead foot, right? And that's why I've got those red lines on the, outside your hips. But then, in combination with turning harder, we also want to get your hips. We also want to get your hips more this way, right? You can see how long this right foot stays on the ground. Now. It's starting to come up off the ground. But certainly, when I'm looking at your swing at P8 here, your right pocket is nowhere near where we want it. We want your right pocket right next to this red line. So you're actually moving where your left pocket is at address. You're actually moving your right pocket to that position. Now you eventually get there, right, when you finish, but we want to be getting it over there, way earlier. Yeah. Let me pull up an example to show you with that. Maybe Jordan Spieth. Put some lines outside his hips. Right, so we're trying to get that right pocket over to to that front green line. Right, so you can see there about P8, arm parallel with the ground. Right, you can see where his right pocket is, right there. Right, so we want to get your hips not only turning more like we saw with the down the line view, we also want to get them moving laterally more as well. Okay.